We in here. What's going on? Let me just check my mic. Let me just check all of my studio shit. All of my studio shit. Great, we got it. You see the image. I'm gonna show you a couple more images. Just go through a few videos as well. Man, we're gonna talk a little bit about this Essence Festival shit, but I just gotta, we're gonna go through the Prelude, but I just gotta say, you niggas are dumb. Like, y'all are really, really fucking dumb. I don't even blame the people that take advantage of you, for real. Y'all are dumb. But there are a few people that haven't shut off their brain, but y'all, listen. Shout out to the people in the clouds. Shout out to everybody listening, or those who are going to come in. Nappy in the building, and yeah, we'll be back.
Marijuana by name, ganja flowing through my vein, going to my brain. It's like this, it's like this.
When you sleepy, I wonder why.
Wonder why.
Must be the high grade in your eyes. You look like you're about to fight. You is high grade. I don't care what popular say. We're gonna burn it anyway. Black blood alone, smoke a whole start day.
So me say ganja me smoke every day. 15, 16 spliff a day. Good purple skunk from me, as say. Move out of my way, me make me weed entry. Hold on, weed a bun more than a century. Go and farm a man, just go and farm me. And one ganja man, just go and plant it. Cause every time you do that, you do it for me.
When you look sleepy, I wonder why. Must be the high grade in your eye. When you look like you're about to fight. You is high
just got some smoke, you got
take off your wings, youth man, and fly like a bird high in the sky, and let them know that you are conquering lion, coming from the tribe of Judah. Some bad boys that don't have no roots and culture, leave them alone, them are go burn in a fire. Fire. I don't forget my pussy, that's the eye. I see it to bright as the night. I don't forget my pussy, that's the eye. I see it to bright as the night.
If it wasn't for my foolish pride, baby, you'd be right by my side. And still I just can't deny that this should have been love. Alright, but I never promised you no roses. Valentine's chocolates, and I don't think I'll pose it. Me don't hear about the talks, I have the little things I don't. I know I recognize it, but I never meant to break your heart. The heart broken at the process. I wish I never was so smart. The time has come to pass. Every moment I remember now I said right. Baby, I've been hurting inside ever since you walked out my life. Still I just can't hide that this should have been love. Alright, if it wasn't for my foolish pride, baby, you'd be right by my side. And still I just can't deny that it should have been, could have been love. Alright, could it have been the car when me drive? Or could it have been the herb in no light? I drew me day a studio late at night, make you feel say me I keep another life. Still should never stay, because I stay with it. I stay of emergency, because I stay with it. I stay, no matter where you from the street. Sirens from the street, shots, police and soldier on the CIA. Sirens from the street, shots, sirens from the street, shots, police and soldier on the CIA. Sirens from the street, shots, just like mama cooking pot, TNT get hot. Sophisticated weapons get away from them black. Beat them like a shot, chant and lick it back. Trade union workers, government, them attack. That cause a state of emergency. Because a state, because a state of emergency. Because it's taking heat, I stay with my love in a BNC. Simon finally
television and religion are the tools of Babylon implement. Corrupting Jaja children, they are the reason we want Babylon from season to season. They want to come for them and come make we chant him down. The great power and sound. Jaja children, they are the reason we want Babylon from season to season. They want to come for them and come make we chant him down. The great power and sound.
I'm keeping it real. So we are live, we live and let's live. So we are live, I'm keeping it real. So real, yeah. So we are live, we live and it's big. As a man, you must be able to find work and put food on the table. There's no time to sit around to play the fool or be a clown. In the days of player haters, real hustlers and gold diggers, now I have no time to watch the plays. Them kind of people don't have no place. I'm keeping it real. We live and let's live. I'm keeping it real. So real, yeah. We live and let's be. As we say, life's what you make it. You have a plan, you got to reach it. You work hard, you must get paid to live good for another day. ease up. No bother with the tension. I say no bother with the stress. I say to ease up. We are deal with progress. Peace and love and happiness. I say to ease up. We don't need no commotion. Cause everything is godless. I say to ease up. No bother try to pressure me. And that is where I rest. Cause I remember when me had a yammy, me used to run dance club and party. And outside of the club and teach them hostility. Them carrying that and we rubber every day upon us still down. The DJ round the mic and him a keep the place calm. Now bother come here so like you are raging star. You can't bring that and we set the ease up. No bother with the tension. I say no bother with the stress. I set the ease up. We are deal with progress. I said love and happiness. I set the ease up. We no need no commotion. Cause everything is godless. I set the ease up. No bother try to question me. That is where I next. I know the time is getting late. Like balance in the race. I try to get my children fed. Meanwhile my shoes are begging rain. Yes, I know them times are hard.
What's going on, fam? How you doing? All right, just put some ones up or twos up or sevens up if you hear me loud and clear enough. All right, let me check my own audio or video or studio or whatever I want to call it. How does this sound? Let's see. Or video or studio or whatever I want to call it. How does this sound? All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. How does this sound? All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I need, you know what? I'm gonna set myself. I gotta get a studio to sound a little bit better. But we're in the building. You know what I'm saying? Peace to everybody that's coming. Anyone who's gonna come into the clouds. You know what I'm saying? You saw the title. We're just gonna walk into it. I mean, you know what's been going on. But I wanted to just, I just wanted to show this here because I've heard a couple of takes on here. And I just want to start by saying this. Before I read any articles, before I get into, I just want to say this. And it's something that I learned while being, especially on this YouTube or social media, right? Never, ever be careful with who you listen to just because they may tap a dominant belief that you have. They may say something, they may even have a series or something that some sort of dominant belief you may have, doesn't mean that they're not on some fuck shit. All right? Doesn't mean that. I'm going to have to just, I got to go through my subscription piece. I mean, and just like cut a couple of Negroes, because really, you listen to these people and some of the stances that they take, and some of them they're either on the wrong side. What's up, last call and first, and bit of medicine. What's up? They're just on the wrong side of everything. Because as you know, a lot of shit happened. This happened this week, as you know, and obviously the diddler, which some of you guys just didn't. Y'all ain't have no male figures in your life at all. But I wanted to leave this here because the premise, what people were running with was, oh, this was too African, ain't no FBAs or ADOS or Black America. Let's say Black America. I'm not even going to use the terms of those clowns. It's not Black American enough, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've been to the Trinidadian Festival, okay? I'm the Trinidadian concert. This was a while back. I need to go back because my parents from Jamaica, as you know, and usually if you have stuff like this, concerts, what have you, Yeah, people may have trouble with their local governments or what have you. When I went down there, Pandy was in power and they were going in on Pandy and slicing them up. I may one day play the footage of that. It was like a fete. They have a bunch of fetes at these Trinidadian carnivals. But you never seen anyone really putting down Trinidad. In fact, they had songs and they had bumping their Trinidadian flag and what have you. Here you have the Essence Festival, where you say is so Black American and filled with Black American pride and what have you. And it's not about, and I'll try to touch it as much as I can, just fools saying, oh, this ain't about African American. This is about Black America. You sound foolish when you say this. Well, if it's so much about your Americana and America, why would you have something like this at the festival? Why are you still asking yourself, as a proud Black American or whatever other term? I mean, you got so many different terms, you don't even know what to call yourself at this point. Why are you asking this question? And notice the three people there, they are not tethers. You got obviously the red bone of red bones herself, Angela Yee. You got the fisherman, Andrew. I think his name is Andrew Tatum. You have the other girl as well. What is it? I'm gonna get their name in a second. I have all three of their names. But listen, let me just make sure that, oh shit, hold on. I got to change my Wi-Fi, y'all. I got to change it because this Wi-Fi I got doesn't, hold on a second. I might go down. I hope I don't go down. But I got to change the Wi-Fi that I'm on. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. I'm going to flip the Wi-Fi. I may go down for a sec. Hold on. Here we go. I'm in the tech field. This is actually called tethering. That's the first time I've ever heard that term. That's actually a term. But the real term, in the tech field, it means that if you use another device like your iPhone or your Android or your iPad, and you can use that Wi-Fi for the Wi-Fi on another one. I'm on the Wi-Fi that's limited, that won't allow me to go to certain places, including TikTok, right? Which we're going to have to go to today. But you don't have questions like this if you're this proud or you're this happy for where you come from. All right? Is America great yet? You should know. You should know. So, well, what are we doing here? Well, let's just see what we're doing here. Let's go. I'll just pick any article. I'll touch a little bit. Should I start with Stephanie Mills? Should I start with her, which was a nothing burger in itself? Yeah. Let's just see what pops up. Let's see what pops up. All right. I mean, we can start with Stephanie Mills. We can go to Lauryn Hill. We can deal with that. And I can speak a little bit on Lauryn Hill. But you know what? How about we deal with this Forbes article? I'm just going to go through a couple of articles. All right. There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of these YouTubers. But actually, here's where I'm going to start with. Yeah. Let me start with this, because this is laughable right here. And I just want to speak to all the people on this. This wasn't African enough, or I'm sorry, this wasn't American enough blah, blah, blah. Let me start with this right here. I'm going to start with this. Just to set the premise of where you stand with this thing. Hold on a second, because I've dealt with this bozo before. How's everybody doing? Everybody in the clouds, shout out to y'all. And where are we here? Yeah, let's listen to this fool. Is this it? No, sign up TikTok. Yeah, I think this is it. Let's see. Go. Skip.
Essence Fest is whack and washed now because it's run by a bunch of Africans. There is no Black American culture that is reflected in Essence Fest anymore. Essence's CEO is an African. The chief.
Excuse me for the. I mean, I can't with this dude. The Bichard Simmons right here. I can't. I dealt with him in the last video. I just think he's obscene. I just think I mean, so many people have come online and they've literally made a career of being a troll. All right. Apparently with this fool, he's making some cheddar from doing it. But let's just continue. I'll it's only 1 minute, so I'll log through it.
I don't know. One of their chief top level executives and officers is an African. The person that owns in Essence Fest anymore. Essence's CEO is an African. The chief, I don't know, one of their chief top level executives and officers is an African. The person that owns Essence Ventures is an African. So what used to be a celebration of Black American culture, the culture that is ours, the culture that we built from the ground up, the culture that Black Americans influenced the world through, has now been co-opted by some African diaspora, Pan-African, whatever, and a lot of Black people are just not feeling it. Now, I went to Essence Fest for the first time a couple of years ago. I think it was like Nicki Minaj, New Edition, and Janet Jackson were the headliners. It was absolutely incredible. It was a celebration of Black Americanness. There were Black people in and up and through it. It was a pure celebration of Black American culture and Black American heritage. But now that it's been co-opted by a bunch of Africans, it seems that nobody cares because they don't set culture for this world. We do. And until Essence Fest gets back to the Black Americans who created it and founded it and lead the culture, it will continue to fail with those Africans in charge.
To all you FBAers, and I'm just saying this right now, all you FBAers, all you ADOS or Freedmen or freaking, did y'all hear that, by the way? I'm sure you heard it. To the Freedmen or whatever the fuck you call yourself, Secure the Tribe, you have all these different names. Understand something. I just want y'all to understand something. If you are on that side where you're saying it's too African, you're down with that dude. You are aligned with that weirdo right there. Tiffany Cross, that's that girl's name. So it's Tiffany Cross, Andrew Tatum, and Angela Yee. All of them Black Americans asking if America's even great yet. All of them Black Americans. But if you still understand, if you stand on that side and you're pushing that buffoonery, then that weirdo that I just played, that's your guy. That's your guy. You remember that. You understand that. But I do want to go and get something that seems a lot of these fools decided to use Stephanie Mills, right? They used Stephanie Mills for some clout, saying that Stephanie Mills caught that the tethers or the or what have you, she sensed all of that. Let's just go through what Stephanie Mills said. All right. This is from NOLA.com, obviously the official site for all New Orleans news. Singer Stephanie Mills slams 2025 Essence Festival for deeply problematic issues. It says her social media post cites a number of logistical and technical problems that she says negatively impacted her performance. And again, you go on TikTok, and if you go through some of the minutia with some of the propaganda they're pushing, there was highlights of that, including Lauryn Hill. We'll get to her in a few. Said attendees of the 2025 Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans aren't the only ones airing their complaints on social media. Stephanie Mills, who performed Sunday night in the VVIP Super Lounge inside the Caesars Superdome, published an open letter to producers of the festivals asking them to taking them to task for a litany of logical and technical issues she wrote negatively impacted both my performance and artist experience as a whole. Mills, who came to prominence in the 70s as a cast member of the original Broadway production of The Wiz, has enjoyed a decades-long career powered by a slew of #1 R&B hits. Actually, I think she just had one #1 R&B hit. Yeah, she had hits, don't get me wrong, but I think only one of them was like #1. I could be wrong, including I've learned to respect Power of Love, Home, I Feel Good All Over, You're Putting a Rush on Me. I think that was the one. No, there was Never Knew Love Like This Before. That was the biggest one. That was the biggest one, I believe. Something in the Way You Made Me. She had a bunch of hits, like, you know, it's in Best Female Vocal Performance in '81. She had a bunch of hits. At 68, she's still releasing new music. I didn't know that. And touring, which is good. But her Essence show clearly did not go as well as she'd liked. She says, the challenges I encountered were multifaceted and, in my view, indicative of a broader organizational shortcomings. The scheduling and time management were lacking, creating a chaotic and stressful environment backstage. Disorganization cascaded onto the stage, impacting the flow of the events, ultimately diminishing the quality of the performance. All right. The sound system, she said the sound system was problematic and persistent at the Super Lounge. The technical unpreparedness, lack of technical preparedness is unacceptable for an event of Essence's festival's caliber and prestige. As a result, technical issues, she wrote, the energy and excitement were repeatedly disruptive, creating a less than ideal atmosphere for attendees. And she said it concluded with a comprehensive review of organizational structure and operational management that is necessary to ensure that future Essence festivals run smoothly and meet the high standards associated with the brand. All right. So that was her beef. Technical issues, organization. I'm not going to go to Twitter. As I've said many times, Twitter is a sewer. Okay. You don't know what you're getting. But I did see some of the knuckle draggers use this for, as to say, oh, see, the tethers messed this up. No, this was simply technical stuff. And I did see some of that. Sound system, that happens at these, but she did not say anything. She would be a fool to say something like that. All right. You're looking for everybody to buy your stuff. You're not looking, to separate and do like these other fools do in these on social media. These people don't give a shit about you. Break with this. Hold on, let me see. Okay, cool. Yeah, give me a break with this. So it said this year's Essence Fest, the 31st overall, dealt with a number of challenges. Ticket sales were relatively slow. Performances ran behind schedule. You had Lauryn Hill, all right? Miss Lauryn, who's usually late as hell. Miss Lauryn came at 3:37 in the morning, all right, at the end of the festival. So people tried to make it out that this festival wasn't popping, right? That it wasn't doing too well. And they showed Lauryn Hill, who, by the way, and I don't know if I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Oh, how could I forget? Remember, hit that Cash App, man. Come on. All right. Cash App's in the chat. But listen, here's what I didn't know. And I learned this a little bit later on in her career and with the Fugees. Because as you know, the Fugees, one of the greatest rap groups of all time, by the way. And one of the greatest, that album is one of the greatest albums ever. If you put a list of 100 greatest rap albums, I don't think it'll be hard for the Fugees to score to make the list. I don't think it's going to be that hard. But for a long time, I thought Miss Lauryn was Haitian. All right? I thought Miss Lauryn was Haitian. I don't know about you. But I thought this woman was Haitian. And I didn't learn until later on down the line that she was Black American. Right? I thought for a long time that this woman was Haitian. Turns out she was Black American. All right? But what she did, though, obviously, what this woman did was cosplay Haitians, didn't she? Huh? She was basically cosplaying. You guys are talking about how FBAs, they created everything and we, y'all steal stuff from us. Well, if the FBA culture was so good, what was she taking from? Refugee. And you think Haitian. Refugee. You don't think American refugees. Like, come on already. I thought for a long time she was Haitian because she hooked up with two Haitians. So that's just one thing. But let's go back to the sloth of TikTok. And, let's see. Here it is. All right. You got to get into the dumb shit now. All right. Essence is run by, look at all this. I don't even know what to play yet. I'm just going to show the videos of these fools because these people, in my opinion, knuckle draggers. Nothing more than knuckle draggers, these folks are. That's what I got to call them from here on in. God, I go back here. General. Yeah, okay, fine. Bam. I'll be back. Let's go back here. I don't even know who to play first because these, like I said, these TikTokers are goofy. Let me go down here. Okay. Okay, cool. And what do I have this at? No, I want to have this here. I'll put this here. There we go. That's what I want to do. All right, fine. By the way, that drink, those are the flavors of the past. If you go to Jamaica, you get off the plane, you can buy that in the airport. They're pretty good. Nice flavors. But let's just go to TikTok for a second. And that's TikTok is starting to become the new sewer of the it's becoming the new sewer of the internet. It really is. Hold on a second. Hip Essence, Africans. Why did this change? Come on. Okay, let me go back to videos then. You know what? It's asking me to log in. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, hi. Thanks for coming through, by the way. Come on. Come on, man. Are they doing this now? Really? drag the slide. Oh, I see what they're doing there. You got to fit the puzzle now. So now, this is what they're doing here. All right, I fit it. Here it is. You got to drag the slider to fit the puzzle now. Okay. And that's how they'll log you in. Good Lord. Where are we at now? Here we are. Here goes these fools. There's going to be somebody who I highlight, by the way. All right. And I'm going to highlight this woman right here. You see this woman right here? This woman. Okay. And this is what I'm finding out with a lot of these people with this, and you're seeing it with the Diddy trial. And like I said earlier, all right, be careful about who you follow on YouTube. Just because they hit a dominant thought or a dominant belief that you have doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean that they're not on the fuck shit. Okay? So this woman is now on this whole Black American thing and blah, blah, blah. And okay, obviously this woman sells, her content. We see how she brings people to her site, whatever. All right. Let's see what she said. Oh, American dollars. This is going to be smashed in a second. You guys are going to be embarrassed after you listen to this. Okay. Again, if this is your guy right here, then you got a problem. And there's something wrong. But here's what struck me about this woman right here. I saw some of her video on YouTube, right? Okay. She's talking about what she heard and, oh, I heard that people didn't go there because it was too Africanized and Black Americans were left out, blah, blah, blah. And she said that Black vendors didn't come. Well, why didn't you fucking come? Why wouldn't you come? What? Because look at this. Jollof versus Jambalaya. Who cares? That's what you're arguing about? You're arguing over like rice? Joe, really? That bothers you? Who cares? What, do you not have the confidence that this Black American culture or your rice is better? Really? Like, yo, you guys, they really appeal to the slow Negroes, man. They really do. They really appeal to the slow Negroes out here. Oh man, they had the jollof and jambalaya, and that offended me. How did it offend you? I'm going to show you how hypocritical you are. That's the name of this podcast. The hypocrisy. This is a nothing burger. Why would you be so upset about the shit? But this woman also said, well, she got a pretty big YouTube channel. It's grown during the election. It kind of grew. She's this mega Democrat. She said she never went or she doesn't go to the Essence Fest. If you don't go, then what does your point even matter? Oh my goodness. Let me go check the chat for a second. Bitter Pill, that guy Terrain fits what you're talking about. Terrain. Everyone that Lauryn, yeah, but I'm saying though, right? I thought she was correct. I thought she was Haitian. Oh, we all did. I didn't know she was Black American. But again, y'all will sit here and attack and say she was cosplaying Haitian culture. She was cosplaying Haitian culture. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. But let me let's see. I've heard this fool runs, let's see, run by Africans. Let's see what this person has to say. Okay, listen, let's hear this.
Okay, well that African businessman needs to change the name to African Fest. Right. Because let's be real, y'all wouldn't have no turnout if it was called African Fest.
Oh my God.
Black people wanted to see Black Americans at Essence. We didn't want to see y'all. But let's be real, you have no success over here if you're not piggybacking off of us.
Okay, again, like, guys, where was, and by the way, back to that other woman, Tabitha Talk Politics, whatever the fuck her name is. She was saying stuff like, what's the music? I don't even know. What is the new music out right now? I don't even listen to that music. But Even if it's new music, who cares? The music from Africa, I forgot the name of it. Who gives a shit? But look at this weirdo and listen to what this knuckle drag is saying. Let's listen to this.
Us. None. Zero. Zilch. No support over here if we're not supporting you. And your time is up now.
Be very wary about women with tattoos like that. I don't mind a tattoo here and there, but listen, like sometimes some people with tattoos, depending on where they have or how, so that just like ding ding crazy. Beware with women with those type of tattoos like that.
Zilch. No support over here if we're not supporting you. And your time is up now. Going back home. Okay, well, that African businessman needs to
like what? Just goofiness, just foolishness. Again, we heard this weirdo. Let's see who else. You can just look in their face and you can just tell who's fuckery. Here's another one, I guess. Let's listen. A bunch of Africans run the Essence Festival like we wouldn't people. Cosplay again. You can just tell by the image. You can just tell by the image. I know I'm gonna catch a strike for that. But let's see. What's this? Essence is now okay. Let's listen to this one.
Oh, so she told me we need to stop complaining.
Now, hold on. Let's stop here. Let's look at what this says. Again, y'all are gonna look real stupid in a second here. Y'all are gonna look like fools in 2 seconds. All right. Oh, let me go over here. Y'all are gonna look like a bunch of fools in 2 seconds. Let's listen to this. It says Essence is now owned by a Nigerian man. He is in collaboration with Nigerian Ministry of Arts and Culture. The focus of the festival is now on the African diaspora. Diaspora, not Africa, diaspora, like that's really a bad thing, but let's continue. So instead of complaining or criticizing, reach out to, let's listen more. Let's listen more.
We need to add to the festival. The African American culture need to be added into the festival. The diaspora, the African diaspora festival. We need to stop complaining and join with them. Join with you? What? Okay, yes, I get it. They bought it, but you literally took the Essence Fest that was built from Black culture, right. African American culture.
Right.
To build what you have right now. What? But you want us to come back and add. You pushed aside the African American culture, and then you want us.
Wait a minute, guys. Maybe my eyes need to be checked. Lauryn Hill, is Lauryn Hill African or is she American? I think we went through that. It's just a refresher course on Lauryn Hill. Did you check out, there was a little beef online. I don't know if he did it to kind of, gin up some controversy so he can get some tickets. Master P was there. Master P's from New Orleans. Master P's Black American. And he and Mia X were going back and forth about going to perform. That's Master P's hometown. Mia X, I guess she decided not to go. And those two were going back and forth. Like, what is this woman talking about? And mind you, by you not going, you're not supporting the city that you claim is yours or the artists that you claim are American. You see how the ignorance works? Let's continue here. Let's listen here. Let's continue.
Tap dance back in.
Hold on a second. Did this fool just say tap dance? Hold on a second. Did this woman, oh, my bad. Did this buffoon just say tap dance? Really?
Tap dance back in.
That's a good joke, ain't it? Fuck out my motherfucking face. Ain't shit funny right now. I could tear down a fucking bitch.
Hold on. Did Africans ever force you to tap dance? Isn't it the people that you're trying to get with now? Listen, you guys, y'all are scaring me, bro. You guys are scaring me to death. Hold on a second. Let's go down. I'm going to get to the person who's making sense here. There's one brother, he had 2 videos that can just shut this whole thing down. You feel me? But let's see. I think, okay, Tamar. Is that, yeah, Tamar. This is Tamar Braxton, who's talented. She's probably the second best singer out of all of them. She is singing Not Gonna Cry for Mary J. That's what she's singing. So she dressed up like Mary J did in the video and all of that. What Black Americans were shunned? What are you talking about, miss? Let's listen to this one. This, again, we already see the fuckery going on. You don't even have to. You can look at the shaking of the head and you can see the fuckery. So let's listen.
President. Call a Crip, same number, same hood. It's all good.
Afrobeats, that's the name of it. Said at the Essence Festival, some FBA and Black Americans were wondering why Afrobeats and Jollof, why not? What's the big deal? Essence is now owned by, so that's what that same woman, that Tabitha woman, she's upset over Afrobeats? And that's why y'all didn't go, because of Afrobeats and Jollof? Really? Seriously, y'all. Nah, but seriously, that's why y'all were upset? And you didn't support any of your FBA people who did come there? Seriously? Oh my God. Oh my God. You're like, really? Who is this guy? Yo, bro. Actually, let me just let's see, what does we can show them, then we better tell them FBA. Good grief. And here's one with the too bad the actual countries in Africa can't see. Oh my God. This is bad, man. This is horrible. This is unbelievable. Essence should focus only on African American culture. Let's hear what this fool has to say. Let me go ahead.
Guys, there is nothing wrong with people saying that the Essence Festival needs to stay focused on representing and being the essence and the culture of the African American community. And the reason I say that is that as an African person, I have been looking forward to going to the Essence Festival because of how I've seen it represented historically, meaning really empowering, really showcasing African American culture, not African, not Afro-Caribbean, not Caribbean, none of that, not Haitian, not any other Black community, simply because that is the goal of that festival. That is the goal of the Essence Festival, is to showcase, to represent African American culture, because for so long it hadn't been, and that's why it was created.
Wait. You said for so long it hasn't been? Like, what do you mean? The Essence Festival has been out since when? Like the mid-90s? What do you mean it hasn't been? All right? We're going to smash all that foolishness in a second. She said for so long it hasn't been. I gotta remember this shit, because this is just too much. There's so much foolery going on. For so long it hasn't been. Essence Festival hasn't been represented like that. Nah, we gotta smash this foolery. This sounds dumb. Go ahead.
People to come on here and complain that people are complaining that they're no longer seeing that essence, the African Americanness represented in it. That makes no sense. They're right to feel that way. And another thing is,
actually let's do this before this dumb motherfucker keeps talking. Let's find out the Essence Fest who was there, because if you're gonna say that, why are these American acts going overseas? They go overseas because no one wants to hear them here. They make more money overseas. What are you saying, miss? But you know what? Let's just find out who was at at the fest at 2025. There has to be a list of attendees, right? List of performers, list of artists, all right? List of performers. Okay. I mean, the Essence 2025 Essence Festival of Culture, July 3rd to 6th, which just passed. Okay. You have Boys to Men. You had Davido, Maxwell, Master P, Glorilla, the Isley Brothers, Nas, Summer Walker, Jermaine Dupri, a tribute to Quincy Jones. You have Babyface, Erykah Badu, Dougie Fresh, Jill Scott and Friends, Patti LaBelle, Jasmine Sullivan, Mooney Lawn, Carrie Hilson, Buju Banton. Out of all those people, you just had what? 3 or 4 acts that weren't from the country. That's Davido. That's Davido. Actually, let me stop that because Dougie Fresh, his family is Barbadian. The man was born here. Let's just get. I'm not even gonna deal with your bullshit. Jasmine Sullivan, the same thing. She was born here, right? You only got Buju Banton and Davido. I'm not gonna delve into your foolery. What are you talking about, miss? The hell are you talking about? What are you saying?
That we don't need to have African culture represented or Haitian culture or Caribbean culture represented at the Essence Festival. It's not necessary. There are already so many other festivals and cultures that are showcasing all these other communities. So
Yes,
the uniqueness of all of those
named,
events are that.
Hold up, stupid. I just named all the artists that were there. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. When you go to these other festivals, these guys celebrate American culture. Yeah, they do. You don't hear rap music at the Trinidadian Fets? Listen, bro. Give me a break. Just saying nothing. The Essence Festival under control. Look at this. The Essence Festival under the control of Africans and Caribbeans. You're showing, you see this thing? You're showing the end. I just showed you that's the end of the festival, right? But forget about this. We've had the brain drain already. Now we're going to listen to somebody intelligent, all right? We're going to listen to somebody intelligent to break this down and smash all of these fools. And here we go.
So y'all mad at the Essence Festival for changing their brand?
Hold on. Nah, we're not even gonna, we got to give this guy his own page. Hold on a second. I'm not even gonna fuck with these. You got to give this guy his own page. Hold on. Yeah, we got to give this guy his own page, y'all. That's what we got to do. Hold on a second, y'all. Did somebody come in, by the way? I'm just wondering if I'm doubled up here. Am I doubled up? Hold on a second, y'all. I just want to make sure that I'm not doubled up on in this live because I see. Okay, somebody wants to come in. Okay, I see somebody there. Yeah, give me a second. Let me finish off. Write in the chat who you are in the private chat. All right, because I got to finish off what I'm saying here. Then I'm gonna get to you in a second, bro. I'm gonna get to you in a second. But yeah, let's just go to this brother right here because let me tell you something. We needed this. We needed this in order to just put some sense. Not everybody's a fucking idiot. All right. This dude right here, there's some intelligence here. We needed this. Hold on. Here we go, brother. Hold on. Let's stop. Let's stop. I'm gonna start over and just let him speak from the beginning. All right. I mean, this guy just sums it up pretty much. Let's go, bro. Put it down.
So y'all mad at the Essence Festival for changing their brand? It's too African. I'm not from no Africa. What is Jollof anyway? I don't like that. Y'all talking about boycotting them just like you did Target. When let me stay on topic this time. Because the problem with us is thinking shit is ours when it's not. This
say it again, brother. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Like I said, this dude is the only one that's making sense.
Thinking shit is ours when it's not.
Hold on a second. Let me rewind him. Say it again.
Let me stay on topic this time. Because the problem with us is thinking shit is ours when it's not. This is the owner of Essence.
Boom.
Not the program director, but owner.
Thank you.
I'm not mad at the Essence Festival. Who wants to come and see Meg Thee Stallion and them twerking and singing WAP?
Yeah.
I'm just glad that my African brothers and sisters have someone in the industry with that kind of pull who can get them an annual event of this magnitude and prestige.
Got people who are not of the culture, they share melanin, and they want to understand the dynamics.
Get the fuck out of here.
Who they are servicing.
Ain't that sound crazy though? Yep. Imagine if somebody buy your house and then you going back and trying to tell them what to do with the house they bought. It ain't yours no more. That man know who he's servicing. You just didn't know. Event of this magnitude and prestige.
Listen to this. And he said, this ain't yours no more. So this guy ain't no tether. And it ain't there no more. Oh, there's other thing. This guy really put it down.
Got people who are not of the culture, they share melanin, and they want to understand the dynamics and demographics of who they are servicing.
Ain't that sound crazy though? Imagine if somebody buy your house and then you going back and trying to tell them what to do with the house they bought. It ain't yours no more.
Bingo.
That man know who he's servicing. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
Still, I encourage you all to go and have close contacts with Blacks outside of your familiar experience. Those are your brothers and sisters, and you are connected for all times in the way that you walk, in the way that you talk.
Yep.
For 400 years, they couldn't beat the African out of you. But now they learn.
This was the best line of this whole rant. Listen to this.
For 400 years, they couldn't beat the African out of you. But now they learn that with that bag, they can buy the African out of you. But if there's one takeaway, is that y'all need to stop expecting things to reflect you when the ownership does not reflect you.
Let's go some more. I didn't see this one right here. Yeah, I didn't even see this. But actually, I think I might have. Yep. Let's go. Cook some more. Cook.
You do your colonizer proud, arguing over this Essence Festival, deepening divisions between foundational Black Americans and Africans.
Hold on a second, y'all. But that man cooked. This man straight cooked. Oh, snap. Hold on a second, y'all. Man straight cooked these
brings a tear
FBA clowns.
To your colonizers' eye when they hear you say to an African,
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm there. I just wasn't yeah, my phone needed some gas. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on a second. Be patient. Yeah, y'all. Y'all can come in. Hold on a second. Be patient. I'm back. Okay, y'all. Let's start over with this dude because this one's important.
You do your colonizer proud, arguing over this Essence Festival, deepening divisions between foundational Black Americans and Africans. Brings a tear to your colonizer's eye when they hear you say to an African, if you don't like it, go back to your country. But how the hell is this your country?
Yep.
We lost 90% of the land that we owned. 90 goddamn percent.
Yep.
Who is now living on all that land we lost? Huh? That's who you need to watch. That's who you need to be leery of. Not Africans. Essence was white owned for 15 years and you were fine giving your black dollars over to people who were probably living on gentrified Black land.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let's hear him say that
Not
again.
Africans. Essence was white owned for 15 years and you were fine on all that land we lost.
Again.
90% of the land that we owned. 90 goddamn percent. Who is now living on all that land we lost? Huh? That's who you need to watch. That's who you need to be leery of. Not Africans. Essence was white owned for 15 years and you were fine giving your black dollars over to people who were probably living on gentrified Black land. We were once one community. That's how we got all that land in the first place.
Let's get into it. Before you even say a word more, brother, let's get into it. Oh, yes. This right here, you see this? Oh, my bad. Let me go back to this. I got to set this up in the studio here. Oh, yes. This right here. Essence was once, yes, white owned for 15 years, stupid. 15 years. Essence, right now it's not owned by whites, but briefly it was under the ownership of Time Incorporated. Oh, yes, which is a white-owned company from 2005 to 2018. It's now owned by Essence Ventures, and that was acquired in 2018, ironically, when this FBA foolery started. Huh? See, Essence was founded in 1970 for Black women, and it was initially Black-owned. But in 2000, Time Incorporated purchased 49%, a 49% stake in Essence Communications, then acquired the remaining 51% in 2005. All right, and that's when Essence was under white ownership for 15 years, stupid. And you didn't hear none of this stuff. You didn't hear these bozos saying some of the things that you see them saying now. Huh? Huh? So this guy, Richelieu, Dennis, the guy in the in my avatar, he owns it in 2018, around the time the FBA grift started. And now you're deciding not to go. You don't want to support your FBA artists, huh? You're mad at Africans, all these FBA artists right here. You don't want to support Master P, who gave so much to your community, and because of Jollof, you decided not to go? Shout out to the CIA, man, and the FBI for this was a potent psyops. This was potent. Wow, man. Let's go back to the brother. This dude is cooking with oil out here. That's why I said at the beginning of this conversation, you guys look stupid as fuck. Continue to cook, brother. Go ahead and cook.
All that land we lost. Huh?
Cook.
That's who you need to watch.
Cook.
That's who you need to be leery of. Not Africans. Essence was white owned for 15 years, and you were fine giving your black dollars over to people who were probably living on gentrified black land.
Boom.
We were once one community. That's how we got all that land in the first place. We took in whoever looked like us because we understood that we were targeted for looking like us. It's as if they started looking down on a mini map of the black community. They drew up plans to dismantle our unity, dropping bombs and making it sound like blessings. Urban development, scattered black communities, gentrification, heirs property laws requiring a written will from people that they're sharecropping, forced out of school at an early age. So we were largely and systemically illiterate, so didn't have written wills, forcing large continuous plots of black-owned land to be forced into sale. The proceeds spreading to 40 and 50 living heirs with their small individual portions, not able to afford property on par with the property they lost, eventually forced into urban project housing. Before, you used to go outside and see nothing but your kin. Then they go out on their stoop and see nothing but strangers who are displaced just like them. So now they bring in drugs and guns and then over-police you. You were in a concentration camp for years and couldn't even see it. Where else could gangs have become a concept? People feel so defeated they want to die, so they pick up a colored bandana to mask his own suicide. Let me go ahead and get back on topic. I got many conversations y'all ain't ready to have and proposed solutions y'all not ready to execute.
Nope.
Project 25 is being enacted right now as we speak. If ever a time for you to turn your swords away from your friend and point them at your real enemy, it is now. You create division amongst each other, and you're just ants. And the colonizer is over you with a magnifying glass, putting a fire to your ass.
There you go. There's not much to say. I mean, that just dropped a bomb right there. Period. This right here, these guys, they used to look at this. Essence, a subsidiary of Time Incorporated. Time Incorporated. So, and shout out Information, man. What's going on? We're going to get up in a second, but I want to touch on one more thing. Actually, we'll get the conversation going. I want to touch on one more thing to show you the hypocrisy and why this conversation is dumb as fuck. So, Essence is just about Black Americanists, right? Oh, it's just about promoting Black culture. And some of these fools even say, oh, it's not African American, it's Black American, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I understand that. Yes, it's understood. Kinda. Let's go back with Essence, shall we? And by the way, the information I'm getting right now is from the Essence website. Let me just set this up for you. Let me set it up. All right. Because a lot has been said here, and let me just put the faces of some of the culprits that you've made enemies out here. All right. You've made these people enemies, and as you know, when Susan Taylor had acquired this and everything, everybody, I guess, eventually she did have to step down. She was involved in a bit of a controversy, by the way, which I didn't even know. There it goes. There she is. And she's still pretty much looks the same, man, since back then. But there goes the culprits that she's in between. One of them, the lady's name, I have it here. Her name is, hold on, let me get that. 1 second, okay. Caroline Wenger and Richard Lou Dennis on the right-hand side, right? Huh? Those are the enemies. And they took over from Susan Smith. Well, let's just go. Let's just go back in time with Essence, shall we? This is from Essence magazine. This is the Essence 40-year anniversary of covers. Huh? We're going to go through them piece by piece. I think it's important. Hold on, let's keep going. I want to go all the way to the top. Okay. Essence. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on a second. I got to set this up. We're going to have a discussion today. We are going to have a little discussion today about this one. Yeah, man. So here we go. The Essence 40th anniversary. And this is chosen, by the way, by Essence themselves. All right? This is chosen by Essence. Hold on a second. Wow, my computer is the hell. Come on. Oh, I see what I did. My bad. I might get rid of that. Okay, there we go. This is chosen by Essence themselves, folks. I didn't choose it. The African didn't choose it. This was from Essence. So let's go. The 40 most beautiful covers. May of 1970. This is, okay. Central Black women. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so that at least, for now. Wow, my shit, I probably got a lot on my computer, man, because my shit is moving slow. All right? Beautiful Black women, right? Dynamite afros. From Rosa to Kathleen. This was Kathleen Cleaver. All right, so from Rosa Parks to Kathleen Cleaver. Careers in data processing. Okay, that's great. Next one. Special, Julian Bond. Is he Black? I don't know. Was he? I don't know. But okay. Gwen Brooks. Look in Daddy's eyes, breastfeeding. Oh, but wait, what is this? Hold on a second. See, hold on a second. We got to, let's see what's going on here. What is this? See, we got to bump this up a little bit. African-American culture, right? African-American culture, but the Muslim diet? The Muslim diet, right? What does that have to do with African-American anything? The Muslim diet, you are what you eat. Tell me what that has to do with African-American. This is what? 1971. Oh, but it gets better, though. It gets a little bit better. Let's keep it moving. All right? Now, this girl right here, I'm going to keep it a buck. She looks like Lupita. All right? There's a little cosplay going on here. Little bit. Oh, but what do you have here? Who's this? The unsinkable Shirley Chisholm? The unsinkable Shirley Chisholm. Gee, who is that? The unsinkable Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm is, wait a minute. I think she's a tether, is she not? Gee, this was back in what, 1972. She's Jamaican if I remember correctly. And don't you know, Yvette Carnell, who has got completely tapped out by FBA. Hold on a second. Let me just stop this for a second. Let's go over to Miss Vid, right? Let's go over to Miss Vid. And brother, you can come back in a second, but I have to go through this. We got to do this. This is from Miss Vid, right? Shirley Chisholm's family was given housing priority over ADOS. Chisholm sat beside they ran this. She sat beside the bedside of segregationist George Wallace, value signaling him. But wait a minute, though. Jesse Jackson forgave that man as well. They all forgave their oppressors. What are you talking about? What do you mean? See, Your bed is crashed out.
Family was given housing priority over African American families. And she wrote about that in her book to share to people that, like, during that time, America was intentionally bringing Caribbean families here and giving them more generational wealth and taking that away from the African Americans that were already here.
Generational wealth. Most of these black folk are poor. It doesn't make sense when you're saying they just gave them generational wealth, like you see any rich, all the rich black, all the billionaires are black Americans. What are you talking about? Diddy, Ye, Jigga, man, they're all black Americans. So they must have done a shitty job with their generational wealth. Come on, bro. Enough. Your bed is completely crashed out. The whole FBA movement has crashed her out, bro. She's crashed out. Well, let's go back. We're gonna go back to the essence. let's go back to essence, and let's just see some more, because this is interesting. Black American culture, you say, right? Woman looks very much like Lupita, but I guess she's Black American, whatever. Let's keep it moving. July 1973, Melba Moore, beautiful woman, by the way. Leather Lady Sings the Blues, Tennis, You Know Your Rights, blah blah blah. October 1974, right? October 1974, sterilization. This woman looks African to me. Like, come on, look at that face. You saying that, I mean, you saying that this woman look, I don't know. I mean, she covered up her hair so you can't see the hairline or nothing, right? Sarah Vaughan, From Shy to Sassy, Fur Coats, blah, blah, blah. July 1975. Now, this one caught me right here. Like, hold on a second, y'all. What is this? What is this? This looks like whole African garb right here. What are we doing? What are we doing? This looks African to me. This looks very African to me. Huh? I thought this was about Black American culture. This is 1975. Oh, this will get better, though. We're going to keep it moving. 1980. She looks like, I mean, I don't know. This is, I guess, the 10th anniversary issue. She got the Valerie Simpson look. All right. The beads and all that other stuff. Okay. All right. Then working our way, When the Boss Wants Sex. Okay. On Strike, Righteous Cause in Dixie, Corporate Crazies, Business Suits for Men. Okay. What? But hold on a second. See, the girl that you saw, that Carolyn woman, they keep bringing up how she's gay and she has a wife and a white wife and kids. But what's with this KD Lang look? This is 1980. I thought you guys weren't down with that shit. What's up with that? Huh? Well, let's keep going though. June 1982. This is 1982. What do we see in June 1982? All right. Is it Black American culture? No. What do we see? What's this? What's this? What's that? Is this not a tether right here? Iman? I thought this was about Black American culture. This is 82. This is Iman, the African, the tether, with Spencer Haywood. Basically, what do you call it? Swirling. Some of y'all call this swirling. This is 82. But this is about Black Americans, right? Let's keep it moving. Now this, hold on now. Hold on. And y'all think I'm being petty. I'm not. 82. In Praise of Black Style. She looked like Allison Williams, if you've ever remember that singer. But let's go to 83. One of the loveliest faces on Essence. Okay. How one woman cheated death. All right. Making stress, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Let's blow this up again. Let's blow this up again. Let's blow it up again. What do we see here? Huh? What does this say right here, folks? What does it say? The computer's moving, or maybe it's just a site that's moving a little bit too slow. Got to bring it up a little bit. What does this say? How to cook Caribbean. Huh? How to cook Caribbean. Huh? How to cook Caribbean. What does that have to do with Black Americans? This is back in 1984. Or maybe even before that. Susan Taylor was still running it. It was still Black owned. Huh? Let's continue. September 84. Miss America, the very light bright Vanessa Williams. Okay. Enhance your fabulous life. Prizing hips. Color for eyes. Beauty pageants. The good, bad, and ugly. Con games. Black men on relationships. Nikki Giovanni. Melba Moore again. Okay. All right. 1985. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are you ready? Who's this? Who's that? Who's this? Grace Jones. Jamaican. Huh? Jamaican. The nerve of Grace Jones. How to run. One sister gave birth to a son, blah, blah, blah. Again. And you know she's talking about Jamaican culture in this as well. Come on, man. Stop playing games out here. Let's continue. There's still more. Remember, this is 40 of them. I'm just going to go up to 2005 when it was Black owned. How about that? Let's keep it moving. 1986. Remember, they did like 4 or 5 issues a year, I believe. 1986. All right? The answer to your toughest questions on diet and exercise. Workout with super blah, blah. Saving our breast. All right? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Please. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let's go. This is more about health. 1987. All right? Keep going down. Oh, okay. This is, what's her name? Lisa Bonet. All right? Oh, hold on a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's this? What's this? What is this down here, folks? Oh, should I read it? Folks and fashions in Trinidad, Tobago, and Aruba. Not fashions in Maine. Not fashions in Houston. Not fashions in Arkansas. Trinidad, Tobago, and Aruba. We're in fashions of tethers. What's that about? Let's go down to June 1988. Robin Givens. All right. I don't know if this was before or after Tyson or whatever. All right. But let's keep it moving. Oh, Life with Mike Tyson. I think this was after Mike Tyson. This is probably after it. Life with Mike Tyson, yeah. Or maybe it was with Tyson. I don't know. But okay. Let's keep it moving. 89. Sex and the Black Woman. The tacky and terrific Avery Brooks. Uh-oh. I know you guys saw this, or you see it. What's this right here, folks? I mean, I'm just saying. Guys, what's this? Travel and Style, Great Clothes in Grand Bahama. Century St. Croix. Best Festivals, Cheap Travel. And uh-oh, this is the big one right here. This is the big one. Look down here. Coming of Age in Africa. In Africa. And we haven't even hit the 90s yet. But this was all about, Black American culture and all that other stuff, right? This is while it's Black owned. Let's go down the list. Oh, Miss Janet. Call her nasty. She nasty, right? She nasty. 1991. Oh, okay. This is, again, different world. Cosby. The whole 9 scenes from A Good Marriage, Michelle Wallace, blah, blah, blah. All right. Josephine Baker and other legends. All right. Oh my God. I mean, come on. We got to keep playing this over and over, man. Like, what the blood? Like, dude, what's going on here, man? What is this? What's going on? What's this? Guys, this is not FBA. This ain't ADOS. This is an English bride. They're English. She a Nazi bride. She's an English bride. A bed wench too, you know. Yeah. Naomi Campbell. Hot spots. Are you ready for adventure? I guarantee they're not. Oh, look at this. What is this? Traveling special. You're not traveling to North Carolina. The beach is there. You ain't traveling to Jones Beach. You're not talking about Huntington Beach. What are they talking about? Jazzing into Cancun. Dancing in Cairo. All right, come on already. This, again, we're still black owned here. And this is what they're pushing. America's a big country, you know. It's a big, and it's a beautiful country. So there's lots of places to go. They're not talking about the liberty. They're not talking about, you know, the plains of Iowa or anything like that. They're talking about getting the fuck out of here. But let's continue. 92. We're still early in the 90s. Oh, what is this? See Our World. What's this? Huh? What is this? See Our World in Africa, South America, and the Caribbean. What is our world? I thought that world doesn't belong to you. This is April 1992. Oh, we got to go through all of this today. So there's no beaches, there's no beautiful places in America? Y'all don't like Jones Beach? Y'all don't like the beaches of Florida or nothing? Our world. Africa, South America, and the Caribbean. All right, come on, bro. Florida Keys of Fashion. Okay, they said they did something. 1992. We still in 92. All right, okay. They're talking about, okay, this is some soap star, I guess. What's his name? Gary Dordain. He looked familiar. With the motto. All right, whatever. Keep it moving. Oh, what's this? This next article feels tetherish. I can feel the tether vibe on this. I don't know. I didn't look at it. Okay, you got an American, Tyra Banks, right? Right? Voluntary slavery at the Washington Post, blah, blah, blah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. St. Croix? Y'all ain't pushing anything out in the Americas? St. Croix again. Let's keep it moving. 1993. The Queen. She's Queen. The Queen Latifah. All right. Black life north of the. Oh, shit. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, what are we doing out here? Come on, man. So you don't like it down here? You got to go north of the border here? Canada. Let's keep it moving. June 1994. Miss Halle Berry. Now, see, this is what Essence, you know what? Essence was bad at this as far as their headlines and their subtitles with the, like, they had an article, the love issue, and they had Spike and his sister in there. Like, come on, bro. This was bad. You know, Allie never played no version. She was a sex vixen. Come on, man. They were bad with this. 90, let's see. Oh, shit. See, here we go again. We're just going to have to do this throughout because I may just have to put this on loose. Because here we are. This dude is Jamaican. There's a whole tether right here. Tyson Beckford is Jamaican. Scenes from marriage. She's black. He's white. Living single. Never gets married. Blah, blah, blah. Dude's a whole tether out here. What are we talking about? Okay, let's see. Toni Braxton, still, listen, I mean, she got the right doctors, but this woman's still beautiful, I'll tell you that. See, Ashley Kathleen Cleaver, okay, same one we talked about earlier. Essence Awards, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, 1997. All right, now, of course, Erykah Badu. You know she's gonna push the African vibe and all that other stuff. Huh? Erykah Badu, Hip Hop Generation and Behind the Mystique, blah, blah, blah. What sisters should know about laser surgery and all that other shit. Okay. Next up, you can meet your soulmate. You can meet your soulmate, right? Let me go back here. Reclaim Your Life, The Dark Lipstick, blah, blah, blah. Girls and Sex and blah, blah, blah. Going for the Glam, Let's Keep It Moving. 1999, My Best Friend Saved My Life. Okay, let's keep going. Sisterhood, Jealousies, blah, blah, blah. Halle again. All right? Miss Halle. Scissors on Screen, Fab and Fashion. Face Soft and Sexy, blah, blah, blah. 2000, oh, come on. See, this right here, man. You know, like this woman right here. She's not FBA. Why is she on there? Now, why is that, bro? What's up with that? You see? And what's her name again? Alec, I mean, come on, bro. Whole African out here. Remember, still black owned. Still black owned. All right? And this looks like Jada. Yeah, this is it Jada? I think it is. It didn't look like, I thought it was. Juanita Bynum. Okay, got the scam preacher on there, whatever. Let me get rid of that. Nah, I don't need to do that. Almost done. 2012. The Dating, How to Beat Your Odds, blah, blah, Men in Depression, Great Skin, South Africa's Rape Prices. I'm not going to go ahead and troll on that one. Angela Bassett, Why Good Men Cheat. Like I said, they just have the worst, they don't know how to place subtitles. They really don't. They are whacked with this. That's where they're just not good. And mind you, what the Essence Fest, they're talking about their organization. This is when it's black owned, and look at how they place their ads. All right. So this is when they start to, okay. But you see what I'm saying, folks? You see what I'm saying? It started, I'm going to stop there. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, the bullshit here. Like, come on, y'all. Seriously. You guys can come up now if you want, and we can talk about this, but come on, y'all. Like, this shit is stupid. Shit is dumb. It really is. All right? This right here, this is where we started. Is America great yet? So you got 3 Black Americans, and this is what they're pressing at the Essence Awards. But you don't know. Y'all can come up if you want. I mean, I know the guy was waiting a little bit while, but y'all can come up and talk about this if you want. But this is, you see what I'm saying? Like, you dudes are funny, man. This is just silliness for real. And at the end of the day, it's not getting you anywhere. And the guys who are pushing this, and I'm not going to go to Twitter because, like I said, you don't know what you're dealing with when you go to Twitter. It's a freaking sewer. So folks are just like, seriously, I don't know. I might go there to see what's happening, but I did. Let me just show you how mentally ill some of these people are. Let me go see if I can find this. Guys, look at this. Tell me that this right here isn't coonery of the highest level. Of the highest level. I'm going to see if I can get this right now. Let me see if this comes up. Ah, come on. Come on. Let's go down. See if I can find it. Like, these guys here are dummies, man. They are. They're not even worth me getting upset over, but let's see. I said you can come up. The link is at the top. It's at the top there. Okay. Yeah, these guys are stupid. Let's get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. This is mental illness right here, man. You got a guy who has a something that says, "Are Haitians next?" What's going on? Information, man.
Testing.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, let me switch this up a little bit. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. What's going on?
No, man, I just want to touch on the topic. I did a video about this on my other channel, Truth Media. So my take on the situation is I wasn't personally, I'm not really trying to get into the whole thing about, well, Africans have taken it over and the narrative is that Africans are trying to, take it over for themselves, and that Essence has never celebrated people in a diaspora. You showed tonight magazine covers that I've seen over the years. I think it's a no-brainer that they've had people on there that had British ancestry, Jamaican ancestry, Caribbean, African. So I don't think that Essence magazine has just been about only Black Americans only, but I think what it is that we got to keep this in mind. This is why people think the way they think about it. That it was created in America by Black American men. And I just wanted to correct a few things on the history that you gave tonight. Originally, it was created by Edward Lewis, co-founder Clarence Smith, and then you had my brother Jonathan Blunt, who was the CEO for 35 years. Right. Essence was actually it was actually founded in 1968. Right. In 1968, and then in 1970, they launched their first magazine. And, right. and the real reason why Essence magazine was created is because people don't remember the fact that it was inspired by Ebony. They were looking at. We got some back feed here.
Oh, me? Hold on, I'll turn it off.
Is it you or is it Freeman? What's going on, Freeman?
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? So, what happened is that there was a lot of Black women in general were not allowed to be on white magazines like Vogue, for example. So they created that magazine mainly to reflect the beauty, the achievements, the accolades of Black women, particularly what was happening here in Black America. But over time, like anything, Essence magazine evolved and started to showcase people that came from other parts of the diaspora. But in the very beginning, the focus was very Black American. I think what's happening is that people are stuck on that part of it, when in fact there were already problems with Essence magazine back in the 70s. I talked about that in my video. That you do know, Naps, that and Freeman, that Essence magazine we may not even be having this conversation tonight, because Essence magazine almost didn't exist anymore. In 1975, they had a lawsuit. Guess what was happening? There was infighting amongst the co-owners at that time that I just named. There was some infighting between them, and they had to sell off. They were being pressured because of lawsuits, internal stuff, to sell off shares. That's how the Time Incorporated came in. They got 49%. Then they came in and got 51%. So they had some problems already in the early days. So my position on what happened with the Essence Festival is that Ms. Wunga, she is the CEO. And at the end of the day, the buck falls and stops with the person who's in charge. And I'm not criticizing her being in charge because of her origins. People, this is another thing that people don't realize. That woman has been in America since she was 10 years old. If you've done some history on her, she comes from Kenya, or her family migrated here from Kenya when she was at age 10. She has dual citizenship there still. But most of her life has been spent here in American society when her parents came over here. Unmute yourself. So I don't have an issue with her ethnic, her origin background. I looked at it more so as the buck stops with the CEO. If you've got bad scheduling in the Essence Festival, which they've had for a while because people complain about the Super Lounge and the way that's gone. There's other situations with scheduling. Lauryn Hill should have never been coming on at 3:00 in the morning. They said that she wasn't the one that was late. It was poor scheduling, poor marketing. Plus, you've got this boycott with Target, where people were not happy about Target being the sponsor of one of the concerts. So that played a role in low attendance. I don't think the attendance was low because people said, "Oh, we don't like the fact that it's owned by a woman who has African ancestry." I just think that one, the younger generation ain't going to pay that kind of money to go to New Orleans and listen to artists that they really don't have emotional attachment to. The baby boomers and the Gen Xers like myself, we were the ones primarily that supported the Essence Festival. Things are getting expensive. Planes are getting expensive. I think people just are not spending the money. And there was already problems with Essence anyway. They've had problems in the digital market. That's why Ebony and Jet is not operating their magazines anymore, because they just couldn't maintain the digital market because they just don't know how to market properly to the younger generation. And I think they've kind of lost some luster. So I think it's unfair to now, because you have this sister who, Miss Wunga, now that she's the CEO, to somehow say that all the ills that has happened to Essence over these years is all on her. I think whatever happened with this concert and the current festival, with there not being a lot of vendors there, a lot of people buying goods, I think that they have to rethink their strategy. And as the CEO, she'll have to take some blame for where that may or may not be working out. But then you had the same problems with people who were quote unquote FBA, as people would say today, who were running Essence and having problems to the point where they had to sell it eventually, like you said, to white conglomerate individuals. So these things happen in business. I'm about to land my plane in just a moment. So I just wanted to lay some of that history out. And also, of course, the other gentleman that you put on the screen tonight, who was the CEO back in 2005, or Dennis, who people say, oh, well, he's from Liberia. And Liberia, as we know, was founded and created by quote unquote Black Americans. So I don't, but he had to step down because there was allegations against him of mistreatment of employees. They felt that his vision for Black women was going somewhere left. So he left under scrutiny. They've always had scrutiny. Mm-hmm. And so I think what's happening is that people are taking it all out on Ms. Wunga for all the other stuff that had been transpiring for years. I think everything has just come to a head right now because the Essence Festival has sort of has passed its better days because of the fact that they just haven't organized it properly. People are holding on to their income a little bit more because it's getting tough out here. And I got to be honest with you. I didn't go to the Essence Festival. Why did not go? Because one, I don't want to I don't feel like paying a plane flight to New Orleans. I don't necessarily want to spend the money right now because it's just not in the best budgetary for me at this particular time with all that's going on in the country. So I just think that, and another thing I wanted to say here too, before I land my plane, Naps, and you probably seen there's a video about this. Do you know that across the board, all festivals, all vineyards are seeing a dip in attendance? So it's not just Essence Festival, but they're saying that it's all the festivals so far this year have seen a dip. That means that people are saving their money. And I land there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Freeman. Yeah, you're right, man. And you know, what FBA people bought this from them, but go ahead, Freeman. What's going on?
All right, what's going on, fellas? What's up, Naps? What's going on?
What's going on, brother? Good to hear you, brother. Good to hear you.
Yeah. It's been a minute. I mean, my whole thing, the Essence Festival's been kind of going off the rails for a while.
Thank you.
The prices started going up. Then we fresh off of this whole COVID situation. I mean, you can look at different events that different people hold, the different kind of cruise parties and other things that they hold, black individuals and groups or whatever hold, and they have astronomical prices. And coming off of COVID, folks took a step back. Things got real tight. During that 2 to 3 year period, people had to start going into their reserves, and the whole mentality kind of changed, and it became this real, instead of being fancy, free, and able to just kind of just spend and live your life. Everybody kind of, buckled in, started tightening up, and to the ones that were making that type of money, they were still able to live their life. And then you had the wannabes that was trying to do it. But coming off of COVID, things kind of changed, but the prices never went down. The prices continued to increase. So when you do that, you're going to sacrifice your attendance because you didn't adjust to the times for that whole market situation. Now, as far as this whole FBA ADOS situation and this whole mind trip of going after everybody in the islands or in Africa, I mean that mind trip needs to stop. I know where it began. I know the individuals that's fueling it, but the fact that we had, I'm a 70s baby. Like I tell everybody, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. So I came along when in the 87, 88, 89, Black conscious, Black power, the Malcolm X movie, you had all of this, knowledge that was coming out. Pan-Africanism was there, and everybody was back to the motherland. Everybody was wearing the medallions. Everybody was wearing the colors. And everybody knew that our lineage and that our ancestry dated back to Africa. Where these individuals get this whole mind state of, we're going to say that we're foundational, we're going to say that because, our people descended here first, that we're going to differentiate ourselves from Africa and have no kind of connection and say that our people did not come from Africa in no way, shape, or form. That's kind of twisted mentality. And I honestly think it's all a money grab. It's all trying to sit here, get inside people's minds and hearts and trying to make money. And then when the whole balloon busts, then a lot of people going to be looking stupid, but pride is not going to let them let it go. Like you can listen to different shows, and the first thing you'll hear people say, it'll be like, okay, well, Tariq came up with the FBA. Tariq stole it from Dr. Claude Anderson and his Native Black American, and he's using it because it's a junior version of ADOS because he couldn't get in there and move and shake and do the things that he wanted to do within ADOS. So now he decided to co-op and do his own thing and go at him and try to undercut him. I firmly believe a lot of that, but at the same time, ADOS, they kind of, in my opinion, they kind of come across kind of like Umar Johnson. They done been in existence since 16, 17, and they only organized a couple of summits. They just starting to put together chapters. They just starting to do something. They barely taking their whole situation off the internet and actually putting it, on the ground in these little summit events. But they ain't grassroots. They ain't going in the neighborhoods. So the fact that all these people have, started to galvanize around this FBA ADOS type mentality and basically say, screw the islands, screw Africa. I know that, from my DNA test, that I know from whence I came. I also understand, being from South Carolina, that most of our folks came through the West Indies, came through Barbados. So I have understanding that to the fullest. There's no way in the world that I can sit here and crap on the West Indies, the islands, or Africa. That's just me. And for folks that's doing that and saying, oh, it's a lineage. No, technically, if you want to sit here and break it down, even though I don't claim FBA, I don't claim ADOS, I understand that, one, I'm Black. My race is human. I am a Black man that was born in the United States of America. And I also know that I'm a descendant of slaves that came here on a boat that originated in Africa and may have come straight here. And one of them boats, I know for sure, made their way through the islands. That's what I know. So knowing that and feeling that in my heart, I can't disrespect them. But also, I also know that lineage, they keep saying is a lineage, is a lineage. Lineage traces your ancestry to its beginning. Everybody knows that everybody's ancestry, everybody's lineage started in Africa. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about it. Now, your ethnicity, what ethnic group you may, or nationality you may fit into, that can be country, highland, or whatsoever. So I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, let me just throw this at you, because about the whole how FBA got started. All right, look, when Yvette started ADOS, that was around the time that she split from Boyce Watkins, an ugly split for that matter, right? So she started this whole thing, and at the time she did it, I guess Tariq Nasheed came in and he was saying, oh, I kind of like what Yvette Carnell is doing. I like ADOS, blah, blah, blah. And what people don't seem to understand is that Yvette was trying to get off from the ground, and she was trying to get some buzz, and she allowed Tariq Nasheed, understand that, she allowed him to creep in, because she knew when she was breaking up with Boyce, she knew that Tariq and Boyce were cool.
No, right? I thought they were floating in.
But she wanted that buzz because she thought that Tariq would bring her, a more hipper audience, a younger, because she was talking about reading books and she was about education. People didn't want to do that. People wanted to, have fun and crack jokes and stuff. That she allowed him to come in. Don't let her fool you. Don't let her fool you. This is why things are so similar right now with what they're doing. Where's the feedback coming from, by the way?
It might be me.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
she allowed that.
Let me
understand that. Yeah, and mind you, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Well, my perspective, because I've seen this whole thing as it evolved. My perspective on it is that Tariq Nasheed, as you said, he saw, and I got a video too, brother. I will load up for you to hear him. From my perspective of what I seen, he saw what she was doing in Tone Talks, he thought it was fantastic and brilliant. So let me say this. He on his own. See, maybe she let him in, or maybe he infiltrated himself in. Maybe when he infiltrated himself in, to your point, she saw that, well, he has a large following. It would bring us buzz. So she didn't like come out and say, well, Tariq, I need you to stop doing what you're doing. It all crashed and burned when he started tweaking the ADOS hashtag through his social media, and all those people that are claiming FBA today, they was rocking with ADOS originally. And then when he did all of that, that gave buzz in his mind, he felt, hey, ADOS wasn't popping because of you guys. ADOS was popping because I made it pop. And the reason why I'm saying this, because at that point, he did the same thing that Umar Johnson did to him. At that point, he wanted to market it and make money off of it and start making the little flags like he's doing now and start selling it. He wanted to sell ADOS keychains and ADOS cologne like you got Roots work. He wanted to market it. And that's when, as you know, she wasn't down with him trying to make money off of it and market it. Same thing that Umar Johnson did when he was in those Hidden Color films, and he said, hey, let me get some of those films. I'm going to go over here. And then what did Tariq say? Nah, you trying to make money, extra money on the side. So it's funny how it all parallels. They both doing the same thing. So then once Yvette and Tone Talk said, no, we're not down with that. We're not down with you trying to take it to that level. That's really, as you know already, that's when Tariq went off and went against ADOS. And then he came up with his own shit that everybody keeps. See, I'm not going to repeat. People are just repeating like parrots everything that he says. So he started. So he went into his laboratory and said, what could I come up with as it relates to reparations that I can market, make money off of, and galvanize Black people? So the difference, I know you don't care for Yvette, but the difference between Yvette and Mr. Flexman is that Flex is not really trying to organize a movement in a political way to get reparations. He's just talking about it and getting everybody around a thought. At least I can say when it comes to Yvette that she actually has an organization. She believes in politics. She believes in having people in key positions. That to me is more in alliance with trying to get something versus Tariq, who's just like cheering you on with fantasy and movies and all this other shit. Now, remember, Naps, that and I'm gonna pull up the video because I got a video that I want y'all to see. I had a guy that tried to argue me and say Tariq never said no such thing, and I shut his mouth up because I had the receipts. Tariq said out of his own mouth after he broke off from ADOS and he had his little foundational Black American shirt, he was praising them, but it all went wrong because he couldn't make money off of it. Let me show y'all the video just to remind people.
Yeah, let me show you something first. You know what? But Yvette Carnell right now is like I said before, she's tapping out. She's now she sees how xenophobic that the FBAs are, and she's trying to match them now. She is like, she played this video of Tina Turner recently. I guess this is what Tina Turner said.
All right. So I got the video of Tariq. Whenever you finish this one, we can pop it in.
Look at this. Yep.
Like from Africa, and sort of our attitudes and our way of life sort of esteems from the African way. And I think like this sort of, I'm only speaking now like from something I haven't really looked into, but I get that Africans are sort of very lazy people. They're not very aggressive. They just sort of want to live off the land and they're very comfortable, which is great if you can do that, if you're in a position to be able to do that. But I felt that they enjoyed our performance there, but I have to be inspired by something when I go to Europe. I enjoy it because the people there are very fashionable and it's just fun. I mean, all we do is work. We check in a hotel and we go on stage and we go to the airport. So you have to feel some kind of inspiration from a city, right? So when I go like to Africa, I'm very down because like the food isn't good. I don't get any really good, fantastic vibes from the people. So I'm just really bored.
Now, this is Tina Turner who's saying this. Understand that, okay? Tina Turner.
Right. And she moved to Europe. She lived in Europe. And I think she's got she has a liking for folks.
She passed, but she's but yeah, let me go ahead and how do I share this? Oh, you know what? Yeah, play it. Go ahead and play it. I'm seeing this. How do I share just yours?
Click it into your system.
Add to stage, right?
Yeah, just add it to the stage and I can hit play.
Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore are a godsend with their ADOS.
Now, let me repeat what he just said because many people see there's a lot of people within the FBA movement. They probably either have never seen this video or don't really think that he had this liking to them. Now, there you go with his foundational shirt. This is when he broke off and he admitted that they were a godsend. So he was down with it. And if they had have allowed Tariq to market and do everything he's doing with FBA, all these people that's running around here saying FBA would be saying ADOS right now. Okay. They would be rocking ADOS shirts and claiming ADOS. We wouldn't even hear anybody saying FBA in the lexicon. Let me play this again. Listen.
Yeah.
Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore are a godsend with their ADOS classification. That's a beautiful thing. That's why I promoted it so much.
See?
Yeah.
Now, I'm stopping it there for this reason. He's saying that it was this is key. It was their movement.
Yep.
That's why he promoted it because he thought it was a godsend. He promoted it because he promoted it. To your point, maybe she said, "Go ahead, let him do what he's doing," because he got an audience. Because he promoted it. I believe that Tariq Nasheed felt that he was entitled to making money and marketing it because he had put some extra buzz on it. But when they rejected that, he's explaining that's why he went off and made this foundational stuff. Eventually, let me continue playing it.
I promoted. I was the first one when I heard about. Oh, y'all got a 80. Oh, that's with it. I'm with it.
You see that? Once again,
Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore are a godsend with their ADOS classification. That's a beautiful thing. That's why I promoted it so much. I was the first one when I heard about. Oh, y'all got a 80. Oh, that's with it.
So basically, that was him sort of trying to convince his audience that, yeah, they had a good thing going, but they kind of did me wrong, y'all. They kind of squashed they kind of hurt me. And I was the first one that promoted what they was doing, but yet they kind of slapped me in the face. So that's him kind of dry snitching on what he did, but at the same time, trying to appeal to his people to support him. And that's why I'm telling you, that's the origins of the FBA movement, because Tariq appealed to his people to say they did me wrong. I promoted them. And this is why there's this rivalry, this hatred for ADOS by FBA, because he was able to fool his audience into saying, I got dealt wrong by them. So I'm going to go make my own thing, and everybody's rocking with him because they think that Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks were evil and did him wrong when all he was trying to do was make money off of what they came up with, and he admitted it right there on video.
I'm telling you right now, man, that man destroyed the reparations movement.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
people don't want to minimize it. The reparations movement is finished, and people can say what they want. They think, oh, well, you're a tether, blah, blah. The reason when it's done, if anything serious comes up regarding reparations, he and his goofy crew, and I'm talking about little Jeremy down in Louisiana, aka Jason Black, Bill Scott, Vicky Dillard, that whole, they all are they have killed your reparations movement. This is not about reparations anymore. And as far as your Yvette Carnell, well, I mean, hold on, let me bring on dude here. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I don't think.
But he killed your movement, man. It's over.
I don't think. Look, no, Naps. Let me say this to you. I got to say this. The reparations movement is bigger than any individual on social media. People have been fighting for reparations off before social media even existed. So when you talk about in California, where I'm at, we got an organization here in California that's been heavily involved in what's been going on, or what they were trying to do with the California slate of reparations. Okay. The bottom line is, if we're going to get reparations, it has to come through politics, meaning where are you going to get the money from? Who controls the money? The money is controlled by politics, political budgets. Money is not going to fall in our hand because you follow somebody who just says reparations, reparations. If I can ask anybody within that FBA movement, okay, what is the actual structured plan to solicit reparations? What is the actual plan that is being taken out? For example, I'm sick of rallies. Black people do not need reparations rallies. What we need is actual legislation work. We need people, we need foot on ground, people that's able to lobby. Now, people get mad, and we get mad as Black people when we look at what the gay community is getting and other groups are getting. But you have to look at, what are they doing? For example, in California, where I live at, the Japanese did get a payment. It was only $25,000 for what happened to them being put in camps in California, right? But do you know it took years and years and years for them to get what they did get, because people stayed steady on the movement. Now, that's that. So to me, the movement is not dead in real life, Naps. It's dead on YouTube. Okay, it's not dead, because for every Tariq Nasheed or anybody out there that's on social media doing whatever they're doing, there's actually real Black people, like Black women and Black men that I know personally, that are actually going to these registration meetings, actually talking to politicians, actually saying, hey, why didn't you guys in California, hey, why didn't you guys sign that, put that bill up? There's actual people physically on the ground. Let me drop this on y'all tonight too. How many of y'all on this panel or in the chat room watched a video of one of the I think they had a reparations task force? Tariq Nasheed came to Northern California.
Oh yeah, I saw
Sacramento.
That. He got run off stage.
And he started talking.
When he came with that maroon suit on.
Right. And then guess what happened? This is why you know that shit on social media don't translate to the real world. He started talking that social media shit. Yeah. And the people in the room, some of those people in that room, there's a few people that I knew, like Chris, in that room, they already knew who he was, what his tactics were, and they booed his ass out of the room. He came there and started talking, and the people that were there, that's been there week in and week out, that's like, this Negro just gonna show up now because he's profiling for his audience, they booed him. What does that tell me, Naps? That tells me that reparations is bigger than any one man on social media. This is why I say, no, he didn't kill the reparations movement. His reputation will be killed, because the people on the ground who are actually doing the work, they ain't following no Tariq Nasheed. Some of them may not even be following Yvette Carnell. Now, I know Yvette Carnell has done shows where she'll say, all these people out here that's doing work, that's doing stuff, they ain't nothing but a split off from ADOS. There are people that wasn't happy with, so there were people that wasn't happy with her and Tone Talk. So they went off to do their own thing. And she calls them out and say, oh, this is why the situation in California didn't work out the first time around, because you guys split off from us and you didn't have the audience. See what I'm saying? You see what's happening? It's social media that's messing it up and giving the impression that it can't go anywhere. But people on the streets, on the ground level, they're actually doing the work.
I hope you're right. Mr. Mac, you can go ahead and let me just say, Money More Pro Music. I know That's why I'm saying Jason Black, that the professor, all of them, bunch of clowns.
You mean
Go ahead,
no,
Mr.
let's say
Mac.
it's real. You mean Julian Smith Lloyd, barbell man, who beat a
Yeah,
woman with a barbell. You know
Jeremy.
that history?
Yep, that guy.
But yeah, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna get on. Then I'm gonna get on off.
Hold on. Let Mr. Mac, because Mr. Mac just got in. He was waiting. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Mr. Mac.
Yeah, man, I've been waiting for an hour.
Sorry
I
about
couldn't,
that,
I
bro.
couldn't wait no more. So, anyways, I got invited. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Now I live in down in Southern Ohio. Just a long story for my job. I'm in law enforcement, and I'm an ex UFC, an ex MMA fighter. So anyway, I just got invited on a show called Independent Black Voice. I thought they was a show like this against FBA. Now, so when I start talking on there, I start telling them that how Tariq Nasheed, Afro Elite, Black Alpha, Demetria K. Phil Scott, all of them are Sambos. So he started tripping on me, like, what you mean? So I told him, I'm like, dude, these guys, these FBA guys are working for Donald Trump and Steve Bannon and maybe Steve Miller. And their whole goal is to get Black people, Black Africans, Black Americans, Mexicans, everybody to fight for white supremacy. So what Trump's doing under the table, he's bringing in white South Africans and bringing in white Ukrainians. He's bringing a lot more white folks in, and then he's deporting all the Black and brown people. So now I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. So I'm not, but he kept saying, no, they're not like this. They're not like this. And I'm telling you, bro, they are. They're agents. I watch everything they do. And Tariq just actually made a video on his YouTube channel, Republicans versus Democrats, who's more racist. And this fool gets up here, and they both are racist, don't get me wrong. But this fool gets up here and talks about it's the Democrats that are racist and the Republicans that are not racist. So this fool's out in Montana. He's taking a vacation out in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Like I said, I'm in law enforcement. I know where the I know where the Klan and all the Aryan Nation and stuff's at. All the Aryan Nation, Klan, and everything's out in Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, big time. So Tariq Nasheed gets on this. Watch his video where he's talking about Democrats versus Republicans, who's more racist. He's out here on his show telling Black people to move to Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming because the white folks out there are not racist. They like Black people. Dude, he's an agent, dude. I'm telling you, he's an agent, bro.
For some reason, I don't know what it is. That man has a lot of clout online. There are people on there online who know better, and they know to speak out, and they just won't. Matter of fact, I'm sure you guys know Professor James Small. Professor James Small went on this brother named Omar Wali. He's out in Philly. And he went on there and he was critiquing Tariq and all the that Tariq was doing. And so a couple of days later, he goes in Tariq's program, and you look at Tariq's face, he looked like the pimp that was snatching one of his product off the street. Like, yo, you better straighten up and you better clear this up. It was crazy. But I'll tell you what, Tariq had a Twitter live where he got cooked by this dude, him and this other weirdo that he has in this next Hidden Colors is coming up. But James Small had come up, and he had mentioned that, James Small was having some business problems in Africa, and I gave him money, and which I kind of believe because I've heard whispers of that, but it just shows you that some of these guys he has compromised. Why is Jason Black? I know that what's his name in the chat, Money Pro mentioned that, Jason Black and Professor Black Truth, they're two of his
They're the same person.
It's the same person.
Actually,
same person.
Oh, are they? But check it out, though. I do know this. Tariq produced that 7 a.m. He paid for the 7 a.m.
Right.
So these guys are all
basically what it is that they're all in the same ring together. You always have to ask yourself when people get on social media, who are they, where'd they come from, and who sent them? I believe that one of the things that he does is misinformation. Anytime someone calls him out, he'll say, you're the agent. But it's reverse psychology. It's reverse psychology because I believe that he's the one that's the agent of misinformation. And if you notice when he had the reparations rally, you notice how he was dressed, just like Donald Trump. He had the red tie, sort of the blue color suit. It was almost like a virtual signal that he was sending. So I think all these guys are infiltrators. Their job is to misinform black people, steer black people away to fit another agenda because these folks are getting paid. They're getting paid under the table. I think Tahaka Bay has been on a good mission to expose these individuals. And another thing too, I know people get on YouTube and sometimes they don't want to show themselves and what have you, Naps. But when you look at someone like this Professor Black, who many believe is the same person as Julian Smith Lloyd, Jason Black, I think that I don't understand why people go on his show. He requires you to show yourself, but he won't show himself to you. And the reason why is because these guys are not trying to hide themselves from the fear of the white man or the government. They're trying to hide themselves from black people so that you don't run up on their asses in the streets when you recognize them, when they're talking all that mad trash to you on their shows. And then you run up on them and you can say, okay, what you got to say now, sucker, right? They're hiding themselves from black people. They're not hiding from white people because white people already know who they are, because when you get on YouTube, you got to give your real name and real accounts and all this other shit. So they don't want us to know who they are so that we don't run up on them. And that's just the bottom line. So we got a lot of these guys that are infiltrators, and maybe they're agents. Maybe these guys are working for the FBI. Maybe they're FBI agents. Maybe, you know what I mean? There's all kind of things that's going on. But Naps, I'm about to get off the panel. But there's definitely some shady stuff going on YouTube, man.
Info man.
Now listen to this. Listen to this real fast.
Yes, sir.
All right. There, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, Andre, go ahead. Mr. Friedman, go ahead.
Did you mention that you mentioned Jason Black, but did you mention Professor Black Truth?
Yeah, I think they're both. I think they're both the same. Just like the brother said right here next to us. I've always believed that they are the same person because, and I think he's using some type of voice apparatus to change the voice. But if you really, really listen to those videos, no matter if you change, no matter if you use a voice box to change your voice, you're still you're gonna still have the same reflections. Your intellectual thinking is still going to be the same, and I think that it is the same. Even Michi X said this. Michi X said the same thing.
Michi X is another one, though. She's a sellout for Trump too. Michi X, she used to be cool, but she's a sellout for Trump too.
So
I'll tell you what. I'm learning that with this Diddy outcome. Listen, don't be people. People do weird things for the algorithm, bro. Because right now the money is in the free Diddy stuff. Well, once Diddy got off, now the money's in free Diddy, and people have lost their mind with that. So the way the algorithm goes, that's the way some of these people go, because they want clicks and views. They want to get a little incel following, and that just equals clicks and views and super chats, man.
Naps, I gotta say this real quick before I jump off. I gotta say this real quick. I would not trust what Joe Brown tells you. Joe Brown, I gotta say this. I have to disclose something. When Joe Brown was on TV doing his shows, you didn't see him anywhere on social media. When he was making that money, that Hollywood money, he was never on social media running his mouth. The reason why you see him on social media, because he don't have that money coming in from Hollywood no more. So he's figured out a niche for himself by talking a whole bunch of shit, on social media, because it gets him attention and it keeps him relevant as an older man. He gets invited on podcasts to run his mouth. How do we not know that he's lying to us when he says that Professor Truth is a real person? How do we know that? How do we know that for this? How do we know that he hasn't been paid to keep it a secret? How do we know this? And what
Plus, he
benefit
always
would it be
bashes
for him?
black people.
Yes, he's always bashing black people.
Oh yeah.
And he's another person who's another Trumper. I think
exactly.
that all of them, Joe Brown, all of them are in the same little bag together. They're all working indirect with each other, indirect. Because if you want to maintain
isn't that lady that Joe Brown does shows with? The lady with the glasses, she's a diehard Republican.
I know Dana very well. I'm not going to disrespect her on these airways, but I'm talking about Joe Brown. I think Joe Brown, I think he needs social media because think about it like this, gentlemen. If Joe Brown wasn't on social media and on these podcasts giving his opinions about manhood and all kind of stuff, right? Would anybody be checking for Joe Brown right now? Would anybody even be talking about Joe Brown? No, you would just say, hey, that's the brother that used to have a court show. After he did that court show, have you seen him on any television programs on mainstream media anymore? Do you see anybody calling him on news shows to give his commentary? No. So he has realized that social media, which has blown up, is his new niche. Remember, he tried to run for mayor of Memphis and was selling his barbecue, and that shit went belly up. You haven't even heard about did he win? No, he didn't win because he's not as relevant as he may appear to be on social media. Good night, Naps. Good night, Freeman. Good night, brother 25.
Man, always a pleasure, bro.
Peace,
hey,
brother.
have you guys heard of these two black conservatives? They're great big, like real dark complected. One's like 6'8", one's 6'6". One goes by Ricky Manna on YouTube. He's popular. Then the other one goes by Big Ward, the genius, and they're becoming real popular.
Those guys, I haven't heard of them, but I'm sure they're no different than the Hodge twins or
them twins. That's what I thought he was going to mention.
But listen to this. What this is, they just like the Hodgkins and Officer Tatum, but Ricky Manna exposes Officer Tatum and some of them too. But now what I'm saying, this Ricky Manna dude, he has a Confederate flag in his background. And and then this Big Ward, the genius, now, bro, they're teaming with FBA. They're teaming with FBA like Black Alpha and Demetria K and them. Because I watch everything carefully, and I'm sitting back. They're anti-black. Black people do this, and there's niggers and there's black, and just then they pander to white folks, and they both pander to Trump. But now they're pandering to Black Alpha and Tariq Nasheed, and I'm sitting back thinking, why are they pandering to these dudes, the FBA dude? Well, because if you listen to the FBA closely, the FBA sound like white supremacists when they talk. The FBA sound like white supremacists when they talk. Think about it. Every video, 90% of videos that FBA like Tariq and Nasheed, Demetria K, Black Alpha and them do, they're bashing a black person. They're bashing a Democrat black person. They never ever bash white Republicans. They never bash Trump. They never bash white Trump supporters. I mean, it's mostly black Democrats that they bash.
Yeah, because that's what they're going to align themselves with. Because they know that, I said they know that that's who they want to align themselves with. Because let's be honest, when you look at the Republican side, those guys are making money. You look at any other, what's on that, Kurt and all the rest of them guys, Hannity and all them, they're making money. I mean, they get money thrown at them because of who supports the Republican Party. So now they're trying to get paid. But and I want to say this to Information Man. It was no slight, I wasn't trying to disrespect Dana. It was just the fact that I know that listen to her page and her channel when I watched it. She's a Republican.
She's a trumpet. She's a trumpet.
I knew he was aligned with
I'll do it because I don't know her like that. That she's a clown, just like Sloppy Joe Brown. And Sloppy Joe Brown is the same one that said shit like, "Oh, I've seen," like they were just going like, really ham, saying stuff like, well, you know, I can tell you for a fact that I saw 3 Haitians and I got proof that they were eating off dog face. That's how far they went. All right. So they're all a bunch of clowns. And she needs Joe Brown to build up her platform, and apparently vice versa. You know, he's kind of soothed by the soft beat female voice, because all she does is kiss his behind. So again,
And the funny thing about it was when Tariq had that so-called rally that he did up in DC, the last one he had at the plaza, she went there. She was there on location at his particular thing. So you could tell when you look at the dominoes and how all the spots connect. Tariq is running in that Republican circle because he want to make that money. And going back to, I didn't get a chance to respond after we had talked about the Yvette Cornell in FBA, and I want to say this, and I'm gonna be getting out and going back into the the chat. Yeah, I firmly agree with the fact that Tariq saw an opportunity and they let him in. Like, he came in, he became part of it, and he wanted to get in and do what he could do, and they didn't allow him to do what he wanted to do, which is market, make money, and try to find ways to merchandise and brand it and get paid. And because they wouldn't allow him to have a voice and have that type of impact, he said, well, I'm gonna create my own thing. I'm gonna undercut y'all, because that's how he works. The same way that Umar works. If you don't let me go in, take over, and co-op your situation, then I'm gonna undermine it. I'm gonna find a way to cut your knees from up under you, and then I'm gonna do my own thing. Those 3 groups, those 3 individuals, or 4 individuals, if you add Tone in, they kind of run in the same circle, because if you cross Yvette, she gonna come at you. But my issue with ADOS is, they, like Information Man said, he was like, the ADOS move, I mean, the whole reparations movement started way back when, fresh out of slavery. It was always different little iterations of the reparations movement, talking about reparations, the Freedmen Bureau Bank, and things like that. But they want to come and say, we're the ones that brought this back to the table. We're the ones that started the discussion. We're the one, and there's a whole bunch of beating the chest. But my thing is, they do a lot of internet talking and internet advocating. They don't go into the streets. They don't do grassroots. And as far as groups in California, they doing what they doing. But my thing is, you got to be more proactive, and you got to have some kind of a strategy and some kind of expedience. They slow walking this thing to death. So I don't believe the reparations argument is dead. I believe that approach with ADOS and FBA, even though FBA never was in it anyway, really, as far as to try to get anything accomplished. But I think ADOS, since they done took 6-7 years to get it to the point where they trying to formulate chapters and trying to get ADOS as the official name that we have to check on our census and all this other stuff, I think they need to just go ahead. They done did like Umar, took 6-7 years, and they made a whole bunch of traction. Back out the way, let some new group come in, individuals that's gonna actually hit the ground and run and see where they can make it happen. Anyway, Naps, I appreciate you letting me up. Info Man, if you out there, much love and respect. Mr. Mac, good talking to you. I'm in the chat. I'll holler at y'all fellas later. Peace.
All right, peace out, bro.
Let me just say right now, and thank you, Freeman. Let me just say to 2 people, Marcus Thomas, if you're still there, you're free to come up, homie. And to Cali Fire Cleopatra, you're free to come up. Let me also say, if you're there, still Black Anonymous, listen, check my check the community posts, because I post the video with Umar up there and where that was interviewed by Solomon, who turned out to be a whole Chester out this bitch. So Solomon, so it just shows you all the people that have hooked up with Umar Johnson turned out to be nothing but weirdos. All of them. This guy's out here, you know, diddling his thingy and pulling it out in front of an underage girl on a train, and they're cooking them right now. So yeah, I just want to let you know. But yeah, listen, all of these guys, I mean, Sloppy Joe listen, I think eventually this is going to come to a landing, but it's really unfortunate that they really wasted your time and they haven't done anything. And this has been happening for a long time, man. It's unfortunate. Maybe I'm just blowing things up a little bit because it's online, but from what I showed you on TikTok, and I'm glad I was able to find someone that made sense. But damn, I mean, it's really bad out there, man. If Marcus wants to come up, he can come up. Marcus I gave you the link, and Callie Fire Cleopatra, you can come up as well. And I'll just let you talk. As long as you don't say anything, you know, that's over the top, that's like over conspiratorial or nothing like that, man. But yeah, so anything else you want to drop, Mr. Mac? Anything else? I mean, obviously you're a tether. Obviously you're from England, right?
Yeah. So hey,
Yeah,
I
got family in England. So I got family in England.
If you get a chance, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. But if you get a chance, check out a YouTube channel called Afro Think Tank. You ever heard of him? He's just like us.
That's my boy, Afro Think Tank. Yeah, I'm very familiar with him. Yeah,
that's one of my dudes, man.
I got all the time.
Yeah, I had him on Facebook when I had a Facebook, which it got terminated. But yeah, that's one of my dudes, man. And yeah, we're working together to try to dismantle this FBA stuff, man. I'm telling you, because they're dangerous, bro.
Well, what's gonna happen, and I said this a long time ago. You got to understand, none of these guys have an identity, and you know, I am 100% for blacks getting reparations, and I think that the government is missing out on really just calling their bluff at this point. Because if the reparations moves and they say we're going to give it to Black Americans, then you're going to see the FBA people say, nah, we need it for FBA. Then the Freeman people are going to say, oh, no, we need it for Freeman. No, we need it for Seminoles. No, we need it for... They are confused. This is what this guy did. This is what I'm saying, that he destroyed the movement because he's caused nothing but confusion. And he, as far as he got his reparations. He collected millions off of this
thing.
So
I'm telling you, bro, they're agents. They're agents. Tariq and Black Alpha and them are agents.
Listen, like those guys, that Black Alpha dude is a complete and total buffoon. I've seen some of his titles and stuff. Like, why are you like, you know, but the Oklahoma City Thunder won the finals, and I guess one of the players had a Haitian flag on him because his family's from Haiti. Why are you attacking him and saying, oh, you better, you know, I hope you're wearing that when they come take you off? And this other weirdo, that Afro Elite, he just did a video saying,
he's terrible. Yeah, he's another one.
But see, you're attacking him for having a Haitian flag. Do you attack the Joker for speaking another language, or Luca? These guys are coons. They are. This is Sambo. These are super Sambos.
Exactly, man. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. These dudes, we all used to, call out Black conservatives like Officer Tatum and some of them, the Hodge twins and all them, because they're sellout coons. But these new FBA people like Alpha, Tariq, you ever heard of Demetria K?
I'm sure,
she's with Phil Scott. Her name's Demetria K.
So it's under Phil Scott, Scott, then he's another weirdo.
Yeah, Vicky Dillard's on that team.
Yeah, I'm familiar with her.
And then Lisa Cabria. Now Lisa Cabria, she's from where I'm from in New York, New Jersey area. Sometimes she does post a lot of good stuff about Trump, exposing him, but then she'll turn back around and she'll support FBA and says Trump's doing God's will by getting rid of the Haitians and the Black Africans and the Mexicans. So you can't really tell with her. But I'm
That's
telling you, man,
beautiful.
they're dangerous, bro.
But I'll
These
tell you,
people,
who else is linked is trying to link up, and this guy's it's turned out to be a real clout chaser. There's this guy called the Saint in the Center. I saw him on Twitter. Like what he does. He criticizes these dudes in order to clout chase and then take pictures with them. So it turns out this guy, the Saint and the Sinner, he's got a fairly big platform. He says he was a CEO, blah blah blah. All right, and now you're on YouTube with the rest of us. I mean, so basically, he was on Twitter and he attacked Nigerians, and just because of what one Nigerian said something, so they you know how they just make it, they just turn it into everybody, and then he said that he's down. He linked or was it? He tagged Tariq Nasheed. So basically, he's clout chasing him. These guys are all buffoons, and eventually, this thing is going to crash down. And I, for one, I'm going to remember these. I will not forgive these people. You got to understand.
Never
I am
going to,
not
bro.
going to forgive these people. Yeah,
Never.
last call, Marquette turned out to be a clown. I mean, I didn't know that he would do that, because I saw him when I first seen him. Because again, I'm just going to go back to what I said at the beginning of this. Just because somebody taps your dominant feelings doesn't mean that this guy isn't a freaking weirdo. So I agree with him on Kevin Samuels, but now it turns out this guy was clout chasing him. Then he said he likes what Myron Gaines said, and now you're hooking up with FBA. So I again, you have to have your own lane. Everybody out there everybody's chasing clout. And I understand.
Exactly.
You want to make this is what you do. Social media people made this into a career. You have to do that to make money, but come on. Where does any type of ethics or any type of character come in? When? You're seeing it with the Diddy shit.
You know, the white supremacists watch FBA channels. They watch it closely, and they laugh at this stuff because the white supremacists, when they're the FBA, they're just like I said, they're just like the black conservatives now. And the FBA are on a mission to destroy black people. Now, what they're actually doing, if you're a white person or any person, sometimes you don't know the difference between a black person, a black American, and a black African, or a black Haitian, or a black Jamaican, or whatever. Sometimes you don't know the difference. But see what FBA is doing. What FBA is doing, they're actually hurting us, because they're getting into people. They're planting into people's minds that all black is bad. You know, and pretty soon, I'm telling you, pretty soon, these ICE people are going to start trying to deport. They're going to deport black people that are FBA, and watch. They're going to start getting them, because, like I said, sometimes you can't even tell Tariq Nasheed. He looks like he's Haitian to me. You know what I'm saying? He could be Jamaican or Haitian. He don't look like
That's
what I'm saying, man.
We can Phil Scott's dumbass, and he actually, like, I know there are bots out there, but you really got to marvel at some of the buffoons. Oh yeah, and by the way, last call, I know that he went to Romania and made a fool of himself, hunting down Andrew Tate. Andrew, just in the mid, let me just say this about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, okay, he once did a video where he said, if you had the choice, would you choose a woman, or would you choose someone who looked like the girl from Transformers? I forgot her name, but she was a transsexual. Like, he actually made that a multiple choice question. Megan something. He said choose a woman, a pure woman, or that Megan girl from Transformers, but she was a transsexual. Like, how do you make that a multiple choice question? Like, that dude is an absolute weirdo to the whole. And Marquette, you're right. He flew out there. And he searched and hunted for Andrew Tate, couldn't find him. Yeah, man, like again. So, but these FBA people, I'm telling you, they eventually this is going to come to a landing. But I myself, I remember all of these people, all of them. Joe Brown, sloppy Joe Brown. You know what he's running right now? He's running the elder hustle, the Baba hustle. That's big money in the conscious community. That's why the Information Man was talking about it before. In the conscious community, this is like everybody's an elder. If you're older, you have some age and you somehow you're intelligent, when the fact is that guy's an old fool. That guy's you don't see anybody call him on law shows or nothing. You just see he does 3 or 4 hour videos with Alex Jones. So these guys are clowns. So, but yeah, that guy, the FBA is more racist against foreign. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So,
well, you know what? To FBA too, FBA. If you look, and like I said, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but FBA. If you look at all that Tariq and Black Alpha and Afro Elite and Demetria K, you look at all their videos the last year, all they do is bash Black Democrats. Jasmine Crockett, Obama, this, that. They never ever expose racist Black conservatives. They never ever expose racist white conservatives, but it's always Black Democrats that they're bashing. So
They say they do that because we already know that Republicans are racist, but they're not doing that. But that's not the case. That's not what they're doing. I mean, they're doing it way too much. That's what Jeremy down in Louisiana was saying. And the what's his name, Professor Black. They're full of shit. They're full of shit. I mean, everything. Again, everything. They followed the lead of Tariq Nasheed. And Tariq Nasheed, I'm telling you, I said it before, he has something on all. He gets close to you, so he knows enough so he can have something on you. All right. When Jason Black, and this is when I really just noticed the effery, when he started attacking Yvette Carnell and Tone, who I don't rock with those two, but you know, once in a while they'll give something, but I don't rock with them because I see the fuckery they're doing. But once he attacked them, I said, okay, well, something else is going on here. All right. And then he has Joe Brown attacking him. And then he has those other two clowns. I'm telling you, they all have something. Again, Callie, if you want to come up here, you can do that. See, Jasmine Crockett, I understand she is getting a little bit hypnotized to the camera, but but Trump is coming with the mallet. Somebody has to neutralize Trump. You got to have someone who equalizes Trump, because Trump comes with the toxicity. So she has to come back with it. You have to have that. Trump is out here cursing. Like, who does this? He's out there cursing at news conferences. Like, what president does that shit? So you need someone on the Democrat side to be like that. I'm not against what she's doing to a certain extent.
It's like I said, because I got invited to talk on the Black Independent Voice show just before I come in here. And I went off on them for about 20 minutes. I went straight off, and then we apologized. But he goes, well, you're a Democrat, shill on the tell. I'm like, nah, it ain't even no. I'm not for them, but I'm not for Trump. And he goes, well, Trump's never did nothing bad to us. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Dude, Trump from New York, man. Trump don't like Black folks, man.
No, he doesn't. Let's do this. I'm gonna shut this down, but in the private chat, put the link of that show. I'm gonna check it out, maybe later on today. But put the link of that show in the chat.
Yeah, I definitely will, man. I'll send it to you.
In the private chat. Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming up.
I'll definitely come up again. I'll come up a lot because this is the first time I've heard of you. I actually just seen you on something and it popped up, and I'm like, well, man, this guy is actually for us, because we need more people like you and Afro Think Tank. because we
Yeah.
need to. This is Chris FBA stuff, bro. It's so crazy. I used to focus on white supremacy and how to stop that. Now this FBA, it's got me more rattled than white supremacy. I mean, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, well,
And
I'll say this.
it's intentionally done by white supremacists. This is
Yeah.
an FBA is intentionally done by white supremacists to get black people to fight each other or fight Mexicans.
I know. I'll say this, man. I mean, and I think Information Man is right when, look, this is an internet thing, and I know the internet tends to magnify a lot of stuff, but I try not to get too crazy because what they're doing on the internet. I know that Tariq doesn't move anything off the internet, but online, like I said, he has a lot of clout right now, and eventually a scandal. Like maybe what's his name, Soleimani, and he's in the conscious community. Look, there's something like that, like polite. Some sort of scandal is gonna hit that dude. I 100% believe that. So
have you heard of
so
Conscious Lee?
Yeah, no, I'm
Check out
familiar
that
with
channel.
him. He's another one who bangs on him. I know.
Yeah, he bangs on them too. He bangs on them too, bro. And they all been bashing him. They all been bashing him. A lot of them been bashing him, bro.
And I'm sure you've seen the video with Cam James, what he did on Tariq, right?
No, I never seen that one. I'll check it out though.
I'm gonna put the link in the. No, that's a thing. He went in. He went
Now,
all
there's
the way
some guy
in.
named Moorish. There's a guy named Moorish. I can't.
Moorish, no, that's my boy. That's Tahar Bey.
Yeah, he goes off on him too. Yeah, he goes off on him
He's in
too.
court with that man right now.
He's in court
with him right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put that. I'm gonna put that into the chat, that video. Yeah, Cam James went all the way in on that fool. And yeah, it's a video that went, it went pretty viral, but there's a couple of videos that went viral that went in on Tariq, and it was well needed. And ironically, he didn't even cover everything, but it's an hour and a half. I put the link in the chat, and he got all his FBA minions. None of them, all of them went on videos after him, but he cooked them, man. So look, man, I'm gonna shut it down. Thanks for coming up. All right.
Yeah, definitely,
I'll try
man.
to do more of these lives and keep up the good work, man.
Definitely, I'll definitely come back on. Thank you very much, man. Have a good night. Peace.
You too. You too.
All right.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna bring this to a landing, and just back to this Essence Fest. I just the BS that you saw, and we're not going there anymore and what have you. Just remember this. Just remember a couple of things here, and remember this right here. All right, and this right here. This is that they have this. Remember that the Essence Fest is owned by these guys right here, or was owned by them for 15 years. And they said nothing. They said nothing. You understand? Coca-Cola, I believe that's a Time Warner, just is one of these companies that have everything. They said nothing. Whenever you say they didn't win or we didn't support them, remember, they didn't support Black Americans like Master P, like Master P, who else was there? Like Glorilla, right? Memphis. They like Boys to Men, Philly, like Maxwell, like Summer Walker, like Nas, like Babyface, like Jermaine Dupri, Quincy Jones, all right? Joe Scott and Friends, Patti LaBelle. They didn't support any of these guys. Master P in his own hometown, you couldn't come out there and give this guy any love just because you hate your black skin that much. You remember that. So I'm going to try to cut up this video, man. Shout out to that dude, who was on the, I'll even give his TikTok. I guess his name is Rod Palmer, the author. Again, it's pretty good what he did. But listen, man, like I said, you guys are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. I started off the show saying that. I'll end the show saying just that. Like these FBA or these guys who didn't go, just a bunch of buffoons, man. So shout out, again, tap the Cash App, and if not, just hit the like button and share. All right, that's the most important thing. If you got any comments, just leave some comments in the comment section. But the like and share is the most important. It gets it out in the algorithm. And yeah, and that's it, man. And until the next weirdness comes out of these YouTube streets, man. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for getting involved, and thanks for making the show what it is. And I'm out. Peace.